When you started your business, you probably got into it to have fun, to make money, to create enjoyment for yourself and others through pursuing your passion. If you've been doing your business for a while, has it just become a grind? Have you just been caught up in the everyday work that goes into the business? Have you built a business that has become like a corporate job in a lot of ways, where you have to report in and not actually be able to leave, escape? Maybe you left corporate America because you didn't want to be tied to a desk, but then you found yourself once again tied to the desk to make your business work. Today, we want to talk about focusing on what you love. We're going to get into it. I'm going to throw the BizDev theme song on. Come back with me here. We're going to talk about how to actually enjoy the work that you do, and then hopefully get into how to get rid of the work that you don't.
Weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. BizDevlive. Weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. BizDevlive. You can't beat. BizDevlive. Brought to you by Guarantee. This is business development. It's selling it. This is intelligent. If you watch it, I promise you benefit. Leadership and motivation. Empathy and inspiration. Leadership and motivation. Empathy and inspiration.
Focus on what you love.
Weekdays at 11 Eastern Time. BizDevlive.
Focus on what you love.
Guarantee. Brought to you by Guarantee.
So 9 years of running a staffing company. As you can imagine, I've had my ups and downs, good days and bad days. And when you are in the midst or in the middle of your work, challenges that arise, that come up in terms of the work that has to be done, the invoicing, the payroll, the human resources, the calls, the accounting, these things can grind on you. And when you're not able to efficiently bring money into the business so that you can just say, all right, I'll pay so-and-so or whoever to do this so that I don't have to do it. It can be quite complicated. It can be depressing because you can feel locked into your business and unable to escape the daily grind of it. I want to talk about how to focus on what you actually enjoy doing, why you got into the business. Maybe you're working for an employer and you jump into that job or that position, that role, because you were really excited about it. But now passion is gone because you're caught up in a lot of things that you didn't sign up for, things that you didn't really want to do. So how do you get back to where you want to be in terms of focusing on your performance, your value performance, over presence? Oftentimes I'll compare this to, you can have a cashier, at a job, and they're locked in. They need to be at that cash register in order to process payments, and they got to be locked into that one physical spot, and they can't leave. You're anchored, and we're starting to see, even with the cashier role, that it's not best for that person to be locked down. So you go into an Apple store, there is no cash register spot, right? Everybody walks around with a phone and they can do the sales right there. And really, it's not that super complicated to do that. So if you can do that in your store, I really recommend it because it does ease up the customer flow. It allows each person to become an expert in the business, not only at the products that are in the store, but in the transaction processes themselves, so that the business is continually getting better and easier. To that point, maybe you're an entrepreneur or you're suffering from that kind of grind piece that I was talking about before. How do you focus on what you love and what you enjoy? And over the years, I wrote some books. One of the life-changing books that I read is the 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferris. And the 4-Hour Workweek sounds really amazing. And the book doesn't talk about necessarily a person only working 4 hours a week, but when you talk about the work, the things that you don't really enjoy, the things that you don't want to do, if you can reduce that down as far as possible to as many limited hours as possible, let's say 4 hours, that's what we're talking about. Because when you're doing things that you enjoy, it's not like work. And I'm sure we've heard that expression over and over again. When you're working in a business that you're passionate, it's not work, it's fun, right? And there's things about the work that you do that you really find fulfilling, enjoyable, life-sustaining. And so those are the things that you're probably really good at, and people are probably pretty excited that you're doing. So if you're working with somebody, you're a business coach, you're somebody that sells running shoes, whatever it is, and you have that information. Going back to the Apple example, I've been in the Apple store years ago and having somebody that really knew their stuff, and they were really excited about talking about the product and how to do this and how to do that. That is an amazing piece, and clients really enjoy it, and you can see joy in somebody else's face when they're in that zone and they're doing something that they're passionate about and they're excited about. And I think that's one of the things that we can take away from Apple. Yes, great technology, great apps, great product, but that from the retail and the business aspect of allowing somebody to be an advisor, to talk to people and make money and sell at the same time, it's really a beautiful thing. So thinking about that kind of design in terms of your job, what are the things that you can do that'll allow you to focus on what you love and enjoy, and then get rid of the things that really you don't. I talk a lot about on bizdevlive profit margin, and I think this is one of those key things that you really need to focus on in terms of offering your product, making sure that that money is there so that you can do certain things to experiment, with outsourcing. So whether it's using a service like Fiverr.com or Upwork.com and hiring a virtual assistant or somebody to do a specific job for you, outsourcing things that you really don't want to do, whether it be logo, graphic design, putting together an ebook, bringing in a company like payroll so that you don't have to handle payroll, bringing in bookkeeping, accounting for somebody like myself that doesn't want to deal with the financial reporting aspects. These are really key things that you can do to take the grind work out of your job. And then doing also what I've talked about before in terms of writing out positions as you go. So you're doing certain things in the beginning when you start a business. By definition, as an entrepreneur, you have to do all these different roles. So writing out these positions so that as you're filling them, they are truly taking work off your plate. And I think the initial thing for everybody is like, hey, I want somebody to come in and help me sell because I need to bring more money into this. But typically the selling part, even if you're not a natural salesman like myself, I don't consider myself a natural salesman, but I do like talking to people and I do like explaining what we do. And the founder of a company is probably going to explain what you do a lot better than somebody else that you hire that doesn't have ownership of the company. So that first hire should typically be an administrative assistant. And one of the key things that will make that administrative assistant really useful and helpful for you is documenting things and getting those things off your plate. And that way you can make a good hire that is actually going to take those things that you hate, like the accounting or the bookkeeping or note keeping or customer fulfillment or shipping. Truly take those things off your plate. Going through a process where you sort of look at something, will I enjoy this? Is it income generating? Is it an obligation? And going through that sort of cycle, will I enjoy this? Put it on your calendar. That's something that you're going to enjoy. Just for the reason that that alone, put it on your calendar. Is it income generating? Now, if it isn't something that you enjoy, but it's income generating, it needs to be done. So can you outsource this, right? Can you get this off your plate? Is it an obligation? Again, can you outsource it? Getting a virtual assistant just to pay your bills every month to make sure that you're not running into fees might be the way to go if you really hate paying your bills. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, just on the personal level, to make your house run very smoothly, it may pay to have some sort of virtual assistant just to help you get through your financial tasks and help you stay on point with your financial goals. Getting somebody involved and outsourcing that piece of it. In Timothy Ferris's book, he talks about somebody working for a company that really literally outsourced his job to somebody else. The performance goals were getting done for the company, and when they found out there was an issue, but at the end of the day, are you concerned about whether or not the job is getting done or who is actually doing it? So there's one way to look at it when you have somebody that has figured out a way to manage what needs to get done and enjoy life. Do we punish that person or do we reward that person and say, oh, well, maybe you need to be managing a couple of people because you figured out how to do this for your job. Maybe you can do this on a larger scale for us as a company. So those kind of skills that you build up while you're outsourcing your roles, and it only becomes a grind, a challenge to outsource things when we don't really document what we needed to get done in the first place. And now I hire somebody from the job to train them, to guide them, and to teach them. But if I'm documenting my process that I truly outsource those when the money is there, then life becomes a lot easier. I really recommend if you're interested more in learning about how to outsource and really get good at enjoying life. 4-Hour Work Week definitely changed my life. It's something that I think will really change yours. I look forward to your comments, to your questions. I want you to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, so that we can continue this conversation. I really want to help you in your business. This is something that when you get good at this, right, this talent, this skill of doing what you enjoy and learning to outsource what you don't, there really is no limit to what you can do as a human being, because you can then dial into what you're amazing and awesome at, and then the rest you can outsource and manage and make it work so that you're always fired up, you're always geared in, you're dialed in, you're ready, you're gonna get it, that sort of thing. So go after your passions. If it's something that you enjoy, put it on there. If it's something that needs to be outsourced, like income generating work you don't enjoy, other things like paying the bills, that sort of thing. Work a plan, put it on the calendar, figure out how I'm going to get this off my plate, because these are the things that are in my way. And I hope that's helpful. I hope that's the case. Get to it, get at it. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.